Hey guys, it's Brandon with SwoleDaddyDetroit.com, and today we're back and we're only 2 weeks out from my first ever men's physique NPC competition that's coming up on May 21st in Grand Rapids, so stay tuned. All right, so we're just going to do a quick 2 weeks out physique update, kind of what's been happening the last week. So I would say that from 3 weeks out to today being 2 weeks out, this has by far been the hardest week of the whole prep. So we started the prep around 18 weeks out, and I would say up until like this last week, it seemed to be going pretty well. Not really many issues, week over week, everything seemed to be going well, but this past week was just tough. So last week I did start to implement some carb cycling, and I was trying to do 3 days of like no carb or low carb, and then 1 high day, 2 low days, 1 high day, and that seemed to work okay last week. But what I ended up finding out was like I was just mentally I couldn't do it. I was starting to miss carbohydrates, and a couple of nights I ended up after going to bed or whatever, I ended up sneaking downstairs and binge eating a few different chocolate bars. And even last night I was eating at 9, 10 o'clock at night, a whole bunch of rice cakes, just because I don't know, my body wanted carbs, whatever. So I think that to kind of get back on track a little bit better, I'm not doing the carb cycling. It seems like it doesn't work for me, or at least I need some more practice with it before we implement it. And since we are 2 weeks out and I don't want to, mess up the rest of my prep, especially, there's not a whole lot of time left, I'm just going to go back to normal, calorie restriction, keep the protein at the body weight, minimum. And for me, carbs will fluctuate anyway. Some days are higher than others. So I think that's going to be just fine. But otherwise, I would say energy was also really low, and I don't know if it was mental because of this carb cycling, if because I knew that, okay, I don't have any carbs the last 2 days, and kind of that's mentally messing with you as far as oh, I feel like crap at the gym or what, but I just couldn't shake it. So I'm going back to normal stuff, because right now I'm doing a whole lot of cardio, trying to do say 90 minutes a day total. And I couldn't do it. I was feeling like crap, energy is low, all that stuff. So I'm just going to go back to normal and basically try to make sure I can average around, 2,000 calories or less for the whole week. So maybe I can do, some 2,000 calorie days, some 1,800 calorie days, and really try to maintain that for these next 2 weeks. And of course, once we get into the final week, next week into peak week, then there'll be some changes with, carb depletion for 4 days and all that stuff, carb loading. But anyway, that's a whole, we'll talk about that next time. But anyway, so besides that, training at the gym has still been okay. Doing definitely higher reps, lower weight, more volume, just trying to kind of get in better shape. And it's still been kind of chilly here in Michigan. So I did actually get to ride my bike this morning to the gym, but that was the first time all week. So basically at the gym, it's still been just, say a 15, 20 minute warm up, 200, 250 calories. And then after I train, I come back and do around 45 minutes, which I've been trying to get around 500 to 700 calories. I've kind of been ramping it up. The last few days, I've been trying to hit 1,000 calories total. So 250 on my warm up, and then 700, 750 for that last part. And then today, since I got to ride my bike, I just did 750 in the gym. And then, I'm kind of thinking that 30 minutes that I do on my bike is maybe another 250. So should give me around the 1,000 mark. And then of course, tomorrow being Sunday, there'll be no weightlifting. We'll just go and do another long bike ride. Luckily the weather should be good tomorrow morning. So I'll probably do the same thing I did last week, nice 2-hour bike ride. I think last week on Sunday I did 28 miles. So had a really nice, long, awesome ride. So hopefully we can keep doing that this week. And otherwise, I'll kind of put up on the screen. I'm not even sure, I haven't checked yet, kind of what we've been averaging for calories, but it has not been good this week. I know yesterday was 2,800 calories. So that was probably a a 0 day as far as weight loss. The day before I had to travel for work. I had to fly out to Philadelphia just for 1 day. So again, there was some lunch meetings and things like that had to happen. So I think, guesstimating calories were probably 2,500-ish. So again, it's just been kind of high, more than I'd like. I'd really like to be down, at 1,800 right now. Even 2,000, for an average, but I think we're going to be probably much higher than that, probably 2,200, 2,300. But yeah, we'll put it on the screen and find out. Weight also, this week I think the lowest was like 196, but it's kind of been pretty tight range. I'd say 196 to 198, but like last week I was down to 194. So I'm definitely seeing a little bit higher this week. But again, hopefully now that we're going to stay focused, hopefully for these next 2 weeks, stay on track, hopefully we can get that back down to maybe 192 by the week of the show. And then actually once we, water deplete, carb deplete, all that stuff, I'm sure I'll lose 5 pounds pretty easily. So stepping on stage, maybe will be something like 185-ish, 190-ish, I'm not sure, but anyway, we'll see. So let me go ahead and show you guys too the InBody scan that we did. So I'm going to pop that up here. So let me actually look at it here. Basically, so last week, remember, it ended up showing like 3% body fat, which was just really, really crazy. So I think part of the reason for that was it was showing something really, really high for the muscle mass, like 110 pounds. Which was like a big jump up from the week before. And then this week it jumped back down like 4 pounds, which again, obviously doesn't make sense. You didn't lose 4 pounds of muscle in a week, especially when calories have been as high as they've been, right? So it jumped from 110 for the muscle mass down to 106. And so that's really kind of what caused, the big increase. Well, compared to last week, the big increase in the body fat. So this week we were 6.9% body fat, whereas last week was 3.2, which we knew that was an outlier, false data. But the week before that, it was 6.8. So that means in 2 weeks, we've really stayed the same, as far as body fat goes. So, which is not good, right? Within 2 weeks, I was hoping I would have been today 6% body fat or 5.8% body fat, something like that. So I guess it's good that we didn't really go up. It's still pretty much the same. I do see that the body fat mass is 13.7 pounds, which that's good because I think 2 weeks ago, the body fat mass was, I think, 14 exactly. So at least it is actually technically down a little bit on the body fat mass, but it's just showing a higher percentage because it's showing the muscle mass is down. So I don't know. So, I guess that in the last 2 weeks, we probably have lost some muscle mass. That makes sense, right? Being in a big calorie deficit, doing a lot of cardio. But I guess it's good still that the body fat is still down. So today training at the gym, I could definitely see, again, I feel like I'm a lot leaner. It's easier to see up top where you're already very thin. So I think that's good, making progress, but there is definitely still the lower belly fat, covering the bottom abs and lower back fat. So that's really what I'm trying to just get gone as much as possible. It's probably not going to be completely gone, but just doing the best we can. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about this week, guys. Next week's, going into this whole next week's going to be super exciting because we're going to finally be 1 week out. So I'm looking forward to next week's video, and then we can kind of talk more at that time about what my plan will be going into that final week for peak week and kind of the protocol, some of the things I'm going to try to follow. But otherwise, have a great weekend, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Check out Amazon.com/SwoleDaddy for all your lifting gear and SwoleDaddyDetroit.com as well. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.